Track 12 for you now, Julia and Company, Breaking Down. Julia Nixon is a rhythm and blues singer. And so in the mid-80s, she began leading a musical group called Julia and Company. They had 2 singles, I believe.
I found very little about this young lady. I have to say,
this one reached number 15. They had another song, I'm So Happy, which reached number 56, and she started doing solo stuff in 2007. So, they didn't. They're short-lived. Short-lived.
That what you just said about the 2007 would explain some other information I found. In 2009, apparently Julia and Company received recognition at an awards called the Whammies, which I followed a link to, and it seems to recognise excellence in music whilst at the same time supporting artists who are struggling to get their music heard.
Right.
Particularly musicians within the BAME community, Black, Asian and minority ethnic community. Now it appears that's based in America, but supports projects right throughout the world. So I guess in her music she's continued to support other artists in developing theirs.
Track 13, I'm probably a little biased. I do love this one. Joe Fagan, That's Living Alright. It was a theme from Our Vida Saint Pet. I remember my mum and dad had this on vinyl single as well, with a picture of the cast on it, and it had side A, I think it was double A side, Breaking Away, which was the opening music to Our Vida Saint Pet, and then That's Living Alright, which was the closing credit music. But yeah, it was a double A side, and it reached number 3.
Wow. Yeah, it was massive. I've got very little information. I have a love for this purely because of the sort of love for the programme Our Vida Saint Pet. I don't recall watching it back in the time because I've been too young, but probably as years have gone by, I've sort of caught up with it on catch-up TV.
We've been watching it on BritBox lately, actually. And we started watching Series 1 again. And, Rachel, I don't think had seen it before, but the writing, obviously, because it was Dick Clement and Ian LaFrene who wrote Porridge, The Likely Lads. It had such great writing and a great cast as well. But did you know that Joe Fagan came back to record the music for the second series?
I didn't, no.
Because the theme songs for that one were Get It Right and Back with the Boys Again. Okay. And so he wrote them. And in 2000...
I'm guessing they weren't hits.
I'm guessing they didn't chart. They didn't chart. But I know that in 2006 he recorded That's England Alright during the World Cup. And I've seen it on one of the music channels. So they changed the words slightly, and it goes, That's England Alright. And
did it feature any of the footballers at the time?
No, it was totally unofficial. Yeah, he also did the TV theme. He sang the TV theme for As Time. Oh, yeah, you can say that.
Oh no, that's fine.
No, go on.
As Time Goes By, starring Judi Dench and Jeffrey Palmer back in the 90s.
He did indeed. He did. It's and then Our Vida Saint Pet came back in 2002, and they didn't ask him to do the theme. I'd have been like, I'd have got on the phone and I'd have gone, what are you playing at? I've done the theme for Series 1, I've done the theme for Series 2, and instead they got Mark Knopfler to record the theme for Series 3 with a song called Why I'm Man. There you go, it's funny what I remember. But yeah, they didn't ask Joe Fagan back.
Is Joe Fagan from the Northeast?
I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe, I don't know.
The series was based in the Northeast.
Yeah.
Knopfler is from the Northeast.
Yeah, I don't know. And I know, quite funny, the series was set in the Northeast, but it was made by a Midlands ITV company, Central. Right. And to make it even more absurd, they didn't film it in the Midlands. The building site, sorry, touching on Our Vida Saint Pet, the building site location, do you know where it was?
I don't.
Basically, after they'd finished filming, 1985 came along, and now is home to EastEnders.
Wow.
Elstree. So obviously they went on location with Dusseldorf and things like that, but the building site was down in London, Elstree, you wouldn't think it, but...
Because was it the 90s show that they moved the bridge from the Northeast to
2002
America?
They did, the bridge to Arizona, that's right, yeah. Right, track 14, Hot Chocolate. I Gave You My Heart, didn't I? Reached number 13. The songwriter was Richard Gower, lead singer of the group Racy. I mean, I don't mind a bit of Racy. We've done a family video to the Some Girls Will, Some Girls Won't. And the Racy's career was a bit short-lived. Lay Your Love on Me, I think, what the song they did. But Hot Chocolate, I think, from 1970 to 1984, they had a chart hitting every year, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah.
I didn't realise they were around for so long. I knew they'd had a lot of massive singles. Of course, they had great success with that song from the Full Monty, of course,
Yep.
in the late 90s.
Absolutely.
And of course, it would have many reissues, but Start With a Kiss was reissued on a couple of occasions
Yeah.
as well. But yeah, 14 years, at least one hit.
Because they didn't have
every
one
year.
in 1985 as well. 1985 was the first year that they didn't have a
Yeah.
chart hit as well. They had some in the 80s, perhaps a bit obscure that you don't hear now, like "Girl Crazy." I think that was one, and but they did some great songs, no doubt about it. So You Win Again. What do you think of this one?
It's a great song. I have to say, before I listened to it, I didn't recall it, but having listened to it, no, it was good.
It sounds. It could fit. I think it does fit in well with their other kind of greatest hits. You could easily play it, and I think it's a good song. It does stand up quite well still, doesn't it? Track 15, Snowy White, Bird of Paradise, reached number 6.
It did. So Snowy White, he played with Thin Lizzy back in the early 80s, just for a couple of albums. Prior to that, he'd been a touring guitarist in the late 70s with Pink Floyd. And since 1990, played with Roger Waters of Pink Floyd on all his solo tours. So consequently, back in 1990, appeared alongside Cyndi Lauper, who we mentioned earlier. As a solo artist, 22 albums.
Really?
Most recent being Something On Me, which came out back in 2020. This song came from his debut album and reached number 6 in the UK chart. Then Radio 1 DJ Steve Wright, now Radio 2 of course, described it as one of his favourite songs of all time. When I was listening to it the other day, there was a song that came to me from a couple of years later, and I was thinking, what's this sound familiar of? And eventually the penny dropped. And I did a bit of research just to see if there was anything about litigation, about him suing another artist for copying his track. And there wasn't, but there was lots of comments on blogs about the similarity between the two songs. It appears that this was written in about 1983, as was the other track. But see if you can hear Dire Straits' Brother Is in Arms in it.
Oh.
Okay, before we go on to track 16, shall we consider the tracks between 8 and 15 as to what your favourite and least favourite is on side 2 of the vinyl of
Okay,
Aerosmith School Music
I
Volume 2?
would still say That's Living Alright would be my favourite.
Kill Surprise.
Kill Surprise. But worst, I think I'd still say Snowy White.
Oh.
I know. I'm really sorry. I think I would say Snowy White. Only because I don't think it fits quite on now too with the rest of this. I don't know. But I know I had to pick one. Sorry.
We've got very different tastes in music, as we've established in the past.
Yeah.
So it's what rocks
What
our
about
boat,
yourself?
isn't it? So favourite for me, it was between two one-hit wonders: Matt Wilder, Break My Stride, and Joe Fagan. Similar to you, I'm going with Joe for the TV memories.
Oh, Joe Fagan, you're still winning.
Yeah. Least favourite, I couldn't recall it before listening to the album, and I don't think it's aged well. So for me, it was quite straightforward. It was Julian Company with Breaking Down.
Oh, I could have picked that as well. Yeah, I think it's do you know what? It's obviously it's more obscure. Doesn't get any radio airplay or anything like that now. I just think, like you say, Snowy White's a bit of a softer record, a bit more, and I thought, well, Julian Company kind of still fits in after Break My Stride and things like that. So that was why I picked Snowy
You were
White.
going with the flow, weren't you?
Yeah.
You don't have to justify this. It's fine.
Yeah, but there you go. See what you think. See what you think, listening at home.